last part of your speech you wanted to say that the crucial point why so many banks failed was not that the bank was carried out from in a bad management condition, but the main problem was participation, so people did not bring their money
to deposit.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't deposit their money there because they don't have confidence. Banks, because some of them knew that I was among the people who are working at the regulatory point of the bank, the community banks. So then when I go home, they will call me to ask me, why did you people give this man license? Why did you people give this man license? I said, I'm not the one who gave him license. He met all the conditions for issuance of license, and he was given license to float the community bank. And none of you came to say this man is a bad person, that he's not bringing the people along the line. Because that bank is supposed to be a community-owned bank, not a personal bank. It's unlike the microfinance banks now. If you have the 20 million, you can go and float a microfinance bank. But at that time, the spirit was community-based community bank, whereby the community, the town union has to be the champion of the promotion of that bank. Am I being followed? Yeah. Yes.
I have a question regarding interest rates and return rates of these banks compared to commercial banks, traditional banks. Are the interest rates higher?
Yeah, usually their interest rates are higher than that of the commercial banks. Mm-hmm. Now, they are now operating in a local area that never had commercial banks or any semblance of a regulated system. Yet, they borrow money from money lenders. And you know, money lenders, they charge you and charge your head along with the as interest.
Yeah.
They can take over 200% of whatever they have given you. So if along the line you now have a bank that takes one, it has stopped you from going up to 40 kilometers away to look for the same facility. Now the money lender who takes 200% from you, this man has come midway to charge you, say 60 or 70%. Who will you go to? I'm asking.
No, I'm going to the lender.
Huh?
I'm going to the community bank.
Yes. So that's why they are somehow advantageous than the money lenders, and they don't complain that they are being overcharged because all of them, all the community banks, they don't have the right to go to the clearing house or the central bank of Nigeria. They have to pass through the commercial banks that are already established, that are linked to the central bank. So if you deposit a check, let's say you have an account with, let me use an ideal one, UBA. It's one of the big banks in Nigeria. You have an account with UBA and you deposit a check with a community bank. What the community bank will do is to go to their account with UBA and pay it in. The clearance will be done by UBA. Then your account will be credited, the community bank's account will be credited. And once they've credited the account with the UBA, they will not credit your own account. That's how they will operate within that period. But that doesn't mean that they don't have their own in-house checks. Because they always give you their own in-house check, with which you can take money from your account or deposit money if you want to use Teller to deposit money.
Okay, and return rates are higher or lower than traditional banks?
The
return rates, the people that actually pay their lands.
Well, initially they had some hiccups. Like I mentioned last time, the spirit behind the community banking include one, that it must be owned by the community. Two, if you are to lend, it has to be, since everybody in the community knows everybody, you have to find out the creditworthiness of this borrower from among his peers. Is he a man of straw? Is he a man who behaves like a Okonkwo? How many of you read Things Fall Apart? So the man who, when he's going, you come to him, he tell you that you should see the long line and the short lines. These are people he's going. So they find out from their neighbors, are you a man of straw or as Anakin, who doesn't pay his debts, but he likes borrowing up and down. So his peers will testify, yes, this man is a good man, he will pay. So, but along the line, they will be able to sabotage that initial thinking. But now, what they now do is that once you come for a facility, we are living in the local area, your neighbor knows their parcel of land. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you now go and use that parcel of land as your collateral.
Mm-hmm.
You can use your parcel of land in the village to use as your collateral, and they are paying up. In fact, one of my students who graduated in 2008 or thereabout did a study on community banks and find out that they are having up to 78-80% return rate in repayment, and it's not too bad return rate.
And last question, the terms and conditions of the lendings, they are similar to a traditional lending, like you have a period and you have to pay in some sort of installments?
Yes, instrumental payments. Yes.
It's the same.
It's not bulk.
Okay.
We don't refund in bulk, we pay in instrumental. Some of them are into business. So as, in fact, part of what they use or the way they repay is that you have an account and they know that you are doing business, and every time you sell, you bring the money. Mm-hmm. Every time you sell, you bring the money until you finish paying the principal and interest and so on. So further questions or comments?
Towards the criteria for getting a loan at community banks, you mentioned that the peers are questioned whether they evaluate the person who's asking for a loan as trustworthy or not.
Yeah.
Is that also an advantage in comparison to commercial banks, because commercial banks would not have the possibility to ask
such questions? No. Because this community bank is domiciled in a community where everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
In fact, a part of the mandatory things, the regulations of community bank had was that the staff, 90% of the staff must be indigenous of that community. 90%, if not 100% of the staff, because of lack of manpower at the managerial level, manager. That's why they kept it at 90%. You can go out and look for a manager, maybe a retired commercial banker or somebody who read banking and finance and so on, can be the manager. He may be the only person outside the community. The rest of the staff are members of the community. Now, if you apply from, say, that part of the community, they'll find somebody who is a staff from that part of the community. Go and find out who is that man who came to borrow. Are you following what I'm saying? Who is he? What business does he do? He has come, the manager will say, or the credit officer will say, this man has come to demand for social amount. His business, is he such that can carry social amount? Is he somebody that when he borrows, he pays? Or is he somebody that when he borrows, he doesn't pay? These are questions they can get within themselves as staff of that the community bank.
And would you consider this difference to commercial banks as an important difference for the success of these?
That's why I have to emphasize on it. In as much as they will also ask you for third-party guarantee, that's get somebody to guarantee that you will pay. They look at credit worthiness as primary before any other thing. They look at it before they look at any other thing. Our female folks, we don't ask questions. No female has asked any questions. Oxford University.